1. Which of the following is not a requirement to become a notary public in Connecticut? A. Be at least 18 years old. B. Be a U.S. citizen or legal resident. C. Have a clean criminal record. D. Be employed by the state government. 2. What is the primary purpose of a notary public? A. To certify signatures and administer oaths. B. To draft legal contracts. C. To interpret legal documents. D. To offer legal advice. 3. How long is the term of office for a notary public in Connecticut? A. 2 years. B. 4 years. C. 5 years. D. 6 years. 4. A notary public is required to keep a journal of all notarizations in Connecticut. What should be included in this journal? A. The names of the people involved, the type of document, and the date of notarization. B. The notary's personal contact information. C. A description of the document being notarized. D. The notary's fee for services. 5. What is the penalty for a notary who fails to keep proper records of their notarial acts in Connecticut? A. Suspension of their commission. B. A fine of up to $500. C. Disbarment from practicing law. D. Imprisonment. 6. If the notary public in Connecticut is asked to notarize a document for someone who does not speak English, the notary must A. Refuse to notarize the document. B. Provide an interpreter. C. Notarize the document without questioning the individual. D. Rely on the translator's statement. 7. In Connecticut, which type of identification is acceptable for a notary public to use to verify a person's identity? A. A credit card. B. A government-issued photo ID or passport. C. A social security card. D. A library card. 8. When performing a notarization, what must a notary public ensure about the individual signing the document? A. That the individual is not under duress or coercion. B. That the individual is financially stable. C. That the individual understands the content of the document. D. That the individual is related to the signatory. 9. Which of the following is an example of a situation in which a notary public is not allowed to notarize a document? A. If the signatory is underage. B. If the signatory is unable to provide valid identification. C. If the document is already signed by another party. D. If the notary does not understand the language used in the document. 10. What is the penalty for a notary who knowingly notarizes a false document in Connecticut? A. A fine of up to $1,000. B. Suspension of their notary license. C. Imprisonment. D. Both A and B. 11. In Connecticut, who is responsible for ensuring that a notary public follows all relevant state laws and regulations? A. The notary public themselves. B. The person requesting the notarization. C. The notary public's employer. D. The state notary office. 12. A notary public is required to verify the identity of the signer. Which of the following is acceptable evidence of identity? A. A voter registration card. B. A utility bill. C. A state-issued driver's license. D. A birth certificate. 13. When can a notary public in Connecticut refuse to notarize a document? A. If the signer appears to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. B. If the signer is a minor. C. If the signer is a foreign national. D. If the document is from an unrecognized country. 14. What does a notary public in Connecticut need to do if they change their address? A. Notify the Secretary of State within 30 days. B. Only notify the local county clerk. C. Submit an updated notary application. D. No notification is required. 15. Which of the following is true about the notary public seal? It must include the notary's name, commission number, and expiration date. B. It is optional for notary public use. C. It must be embossed on every document. D. The seal must be made of gold. 16. What should a notary do if they suspect that a document presented for notarization is fraudulent? A. Refuse to notarize the document and report the incident to authorities. B. Notify the signatory of the suspicion but proceed with notarization. C. Notarize the document with a warning to the signatory. D. Sign the document and file a report later. 17. In Connecticut, what type of notary is authorized to perform electronic notarizations? A. Only notaries with 5 years of experience. B. Any notary who has completed the proper training and certification. C. Only notaries working in law firms. D. Notaries with state authorization. 18. What is the maximum fee a notary public in Connecticut can charge for each notarization? A. $5 per signature. B. $10 per signature. C. $15 per signature. D. No fees allowed. 19. What is the proper procedure if a notary public witnesses a document being signed but does not have the signer's signature in front of them? A. Notarize the document anyway. E. Refuse to notarize the document. C. Notarize the document after confirming the signer's identity. D. Notify the authorities. 20. A notary public is asked to notarize a document in which the signer is a non-resident. What should the notary do? A. Notarize the document as long as the signer is legally in Connecticut. B. Refuse to notarize the document if the signer is not a Connecticut resident. C. Notarize the document, but mark it as non-resident. D. Refuse to notarize and refer the signer to a notary in their state. 21. If a Connecticut notary public is unsure whether a document meets the requirements for notarization, what should they do? A. Proceed with notarization at their discretion. B. Seek legal advice. C. Refuse to notarize the document. D. Notarize it and inform the signer of the risks. 22. Which of the following actions would be considered an ethical violation for a notary public? A. Notarizing a document without the signer's presence. B. Notarizing a document after confirming the signer's identity. C. Charging a reasonable fee for notarial services. D. Notarizing a document with a valid government-issued ID. 23. When can a notary public act as a witness in Connecticut? A. When the document involves their personal interests. E. If the notary is impartial and not a party to the transaction. C. Only if the document does not involve financial agreements. D. Notaries are never allowed to act as witnesses. 24. What should a notary public do if they are presented with a document containing blank spaces? A. Notarize it only if the blanks are filled in. B. Notarize the document with the blanks. C. Ask the signer to initial the blank spaces before notarizing. D. Refuse to notarize the document. 25. Which of the following types of documents cannot be notarized by a Connecticut notary? A. The sworn affidavit. The A. Will. C. A promissory note. D. A birth certificate. 26. What action must a notary public take when a document is presented to them for notarization but they suspect it is incomplete? A. Notarize the document anyway, as long as it is signed. B. Notify the signer of the missing information and refuse to notarize. C. Correct the document before notarizing. D. Proceed with notarization if the signer assures that all information is correct. 27. In Connecticut, who is responsible for the acts and omissions of a notary public? A. The employer of the notary. B. The signer of the document. C. The notary public. D. The Secretary of State. 28. How often must a notary public renew their commission in Connecticut? Every year. B. Every 2 years. C. Every 4 years. D. Every 5 years. 29. What does acknowledging a document mean in the context of notarization? A. The notary confirms that the signer understands the document. B. The notary confirms that the document has been signed voluntarily. C. The notary signs the document as a witness. D. The notary's official seal. 30. What is the best way to ensure that a notary seal is used properly? A. Keep the seal under lock and key. B. Allow only authorized individuals to use the seal. C. Require the notary to use the seal only once per day. D. All of the above. 31. Can a Connecticut notary notarize a document outside of the state of Connecticut? A. Yes, as long as they are commissioned in Connecticut. B. No, they can only notarize within the state. C. Yes, if the document is being notarized for use in Connecticut. D. Yes, but only if the signer resides out of state. 32. What must a notary do if they are unable to physically appear for a notarization appointment? A. Reschedule the notarization. Ask the signer to come to the notary's office. C. Allow another notary public to notarize on their behalf. D. Perform the notarization remotely.